tomorrow morning the person goes and does something and finds himself in problem with the law. You can't blame the program for that. There are many Dominicans who got green cards who are in jail in America. So you blame the green card program for that? No. Nobody blames the green card program for this. If after you become a citizen of America, you find yourself in a problem, there's nothing wrong with the American citizenship program or your path to citizenship. That's to do with the personal behavior of the individual. And so we can't link it to our program. Somebody gets it tomorrow morning they commit a crime or something like that. They can't link it to that. So my urge to Matt is that this is our country. We may not agree with everything the government does, and I don't expect everybody to agree. Not even in the party, everybody agrees with everything the government does. But at the end of the day, there are some things that we must defend the country on. We can have our questions. There's nothing wrong having our questions. There's nothing asking for clarification, or having a query as a citizen on anything the government does. But when it comes to conspiring with external people who have never been to Dominica, who don't care two hoots about where Dominica is, who are not interested in the welfare of Dominica, but who may have people who are paying them to write stories about Dominica that are negative. And we are participating in it by providing with false information, misinformation, and all sorts of baseless allegations that have all been set aside. It's not right. It's not right. This is our country. Our country. And we all have our children here. We all have our parents here. There are some who have green card, but they go to America, you get green card, you get a problem in America, they send you back. Come back to Dominica. And even if you have a green card, you go to America or citizens or any other country, you have family here. So don't, it's not, when Rosie was the leader of the opposition, Rosie would go to the United Kingdom. Rosie would go and speak out bananas and get Bernie and these guys there to ask questions in the British Parliament on Dominica's behalf and Muda's behalf. Rosie would go to Guadeloupe and bring doctors and medication to Dominica to help people. When Rosie went out, or Mike went out of Dominica, they left Dominican politics in Dominica. They will never conspire with external forces to destroy the country. Never. And so we have to avoid this from happening. In respect to who is to succeed me when I demit office, the office of the Prime Minister is not for me to bequeath to anybody. It's not my personal property, why I put in a will. It's a matter for the parliamentarians to decide and the party to decide. In respect to who has my favor, everybody has my favor. Because within the party there is a depth of talent that anyone can jump forward. And that person would be embraced and so forth. So there's no change of heart or new heart and so on. Everybody has my favor. There's tremendous talent in there. If you want talent, you look to Labour. And I think when I look at the young people who are in Labour there, we're talking about these guys are going to be in there for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And so I'll be looking at them from vehicles on my balcony when they'll come to visit me and ask for my counsel on certain matters and so on. But the future is bright for Labour, and so I don't have an issue there. So let us not try to make an issue where there is no such issue there, and so there's no problem at all, not whatsoever. They're different. I try to allow different people to act prime minister so they can get the experience and the exposure. That's what it is. So different people at different times will act so they can get the exposure and get the understanding of how difficult it is to be prime minister, even if it's for one day. Because you never know what a prime minister has to do until he become one. So sometimes I let some of these guys act and somebody they can't wait for Skerrit to come back, but say, boy, that thing's scary there, boy. But nothing at all. But yes, sir. Curtis, last question, Curtis.
Yeah, my last three questions, sir.
Yeah. Last three questions. You guys come for me today, boy.
Yeah. You announced that over 2,600 public officers will receive increased salaries by the end of September. By the end of September.
Yeah, over 2,900. Yeah.
900 will get increased salaries.
Yeah.
Through the, of course, the program, the reclassification exercise, Prime Minister, how will that affect salary negotiations now between the unions and, of course, the government? So that's the first question. The other one, since we're on lighting, what about the program of lighting at Windsor Park Stadium? Where is that program? The program should have ended in July of this year. Can you bring us up to date on what is the position with the lighting program at the Windsor Park? And finally, Prime Minister, with 12 homicides in Dominica for the year so far, what is the position of the police and the government? Are you concerned that these murders are increasing in Dominica at the moment? Thank you very much.
Okay. Well,
and by the way, Matt, sorry. By the way, many of them are firearm-related. Firearm-related offenses.
Yeah.
When do we expect geothermal to become a reality?
Okay. Now, regards to salary negotiations, I don't want to get into the specifics of this. Obviously, one of the main requests of the unions, all unions, was the reclassification exercise, and that was very much anticipated, and we engaged the unions throughout the exercise. And now that we're implementing it, I believe it's great news for so many of the public officers. There are some issues that we continue to discuss with the Police Welfare Association and looking at the other categories of public officers who may not have been positively impacted by the reclassification. So discussions are ongoing with those entities to see how we can address those issues. I don't want to speak for the union, but I would find it strange that the union would want to ask for salary increase on top of 13% and 6%. But it's a discussion we'll need to have in terms of the triennium. But I'll leave it to this. There's a group of public servants who are the government negotiators, and I don't like to speak about those things before those things happen and so forth. So I'll leave it to them to deal with. The Lighting Stadium, I know Honorable George is listening to me, so I'll ask him to call you to give you more details on this. I know you asked me that question last time, so that he can provide you with more details on this. There's some technical issues there. The 12 homicides and most of them firearms, it's an issue we've had, and we've been engaging on our partner, the United States, and I must say that they have made some movements in responding to our concern about the number of firearms coming into the region. What we have done at a government standpoint to mitigate against this is that to put systems at the port of entry, and we expended serious significant funds in putting these scanners at the port of entry, so as to identify those firearms are coming in and reduce the number making its way on the streets in Dominica. Obviously, people find other means of getting those firearms on the streets in Dominica. And so this is the source of it and so on. The police is taking a zero tolerance to this thing. I want to urge people who have illegal firearms, make a way of getting to the police. The police can facilitate you in getting it to them. I know the police have been speaking about working with some groups to get the illegal firearms off the streets. I have said to many people that when you have a firearm, you always run the risk of using it. And when you sell it, you'll be selling it to someone who will come back and kill you, or kill your mother, or kill your brother. And so the possession and the trading of firearms is not for a country like Dominica, because it's too small for this. And we have to learn to resolve our issues through legal means and not through the use of firearms. And so it's incumbent upon all of us in the country to play our part in respect to the presence and the prevalence of firearms in our streets and the utilization of those firearms to commission a crime. But the police is taking a very hard stance on this. But again, crime is a societal problem, and all of us must play our part. There are some strategies that have been employed by the police. I'm not at liberty to discuss this publicly, but certainly this is higher in the police agenda in terms of combating and addressing. The other issue with geothermal, The schedule is that by the end of 2025, we will have access to geothermal energy in Dominica. So we're pushing very hard. We don't speak about it much because we're just working behind the scenes and getting it going. And there will be there'll be an activity in Dominica next month. FS is the next month. A donors conference that to look at raising funds for the transmission from Fokole to the Norfolk, and that's Portsmouth and so Sugarloaf. So there are a number of things happening there where geothermal is concerned. It is important that we persevere on it. I know people have been saying it's been a long time, but when you look at countries that have pursued renewable energy, especially geothermal, it has taken them a long time, especially countries like ours. And there are many countries in the Caribbean that have attempted to go the route of geothermal and have not gone beyond the exploratory phase. As a matter of fact, some of them were not able to go for the exploratory phases. And we have persevered in Dominica because we understand how important geothermal is to the cost of energy for consumers of electricity and the potential it has for economic activity in Dominica. So we're persevering, and it's something that we have to keep at it. We could have abandoned it after Hurricane Maria because we need the monies. As a matter of fact, one question was posed to me by development partners as to what is our stance on geothermal. Every one of them was shocked at my response when I said, we notwithstanding the impact of the hurricane, we're going to pursue geothermal. And at that time, after the hurricane, we made some $15 million available so we could go to the next stages of the geothermal project and so forth. I want to thank all of you for these very tough questions. I think today was a hard one for me there. I think you guys came ready for me today. You know? But I appreciate the questions. I think they were all relevant questions. I want to say to Dominicans, let's work together. Let's have some little more patience on the Dominic side. We'll be working diligently to get it going. There are a number of things that will be done behind the scenes that we will not speak to you about, but we'll continue working on this. It is something that preoccupies the attention of the government, myself personally as Prime Minister, and I will continue to work with Dominic to provide them all the support they need to addressing this issue in the immediate term and in the medium term. So let's all work together, and I have read some of the, I saw some of the songs that were written on Dominic, on social media, and the songs. Yeah. You guys are on social media. You guys are Cookie is not, and all of the WhatsApp. Yeah, all of the WhatsApp. Yeah. 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 But on a serious note, we understand the impact. We understand the inconvenience that affects everybody, and it's something that we need to address in a decisive manner. And so this is what my message to the board was this morning, and to management, certainly. And we will deal with it and so forth. Thank you. God bless everybody. Thank you.